Hi everyone, welcome to the session. Before we start, I'll introduce myself. I am Mayank Gupta, working as a corporate trainer with Miracle, having more than 9 years of experience with corporate and online training. I have been associated with multiple companies like HCL, IBM, Fairportal, CheapoWare, Mindtree Technologies, and many other companies. So the topic of discussion in this particular session is promises in JavaScript, and we'll be talking about how promises work in JavaScript. So yeah, let's begin. In this video, we are going to talk about promises and we'll be creating some custom promises. Promises are the objects which may or may not return you some value in the future. The data from the promises can be received after some interval on the basis of certain parameters or conditions. Promise keyword was introduced in ES6. We can create a custom promise using a promise keyword. So now let's switch to the code and see how to work with the promises in the real-time environment. So let's start with the creation of a custom promise. I'll create a custom promise. I'll be using the keyword promise in order to create this custom promise object. This promise keywords take a callback function. So we'll create a callback function over here. And this callback function takes two parameters as an input. One is resolve, reject. So as the name suggests, the resolve keyword is used in order to resolve this particular promise. So we'll be putting a set timeout over here. So I'll put a set timeout and I'll be resolving this promise after a delay of 5000 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds. This set timeout will take a callback function. So I'll put a callback function over here. And inside this callback function, I'll be using my keyword resolve in order to resolve my promise. So this resolve keyword we'll be using along with some data. So I want to resolve this promise with the data which says hello world. So let's try to use this promise in some function. So let's create a function which will be using this particular promise. So I'll be saying function calling promise. We will be now using this custom promise. So I'll write custom promise dot then. Inside then we'll put a callback function, and this particular callback function takes the resolved value of the promise. So we'll write data over here, and let's do console.log data once this promise get resolved. On the next line, what we'll do is we'll console.log another message which is program completed. So over here, let's put some debuggers in order to see how this particular program executes. So I'll be putting a debugger on line 15 as well as on line 8 and line 12. Now let's execute this program to see the output. Once I execute the program, I can see that the line 15 is getting invoked, which will call this particular function, which is calling promise. Once this particular function is invoked, we'll wait on line 8. The custom promise is now getting resolved in the background. It might take a time frame of 5 seconds. Meanwhile, since the JavaScript is single threaded, it won't wait for this particular value to be returned. Instead, it will move forward to line 12 and give us a console log message which is programming complete. Once the promise is resolved after 5 seconds, we'll see that this particular custom promise resolve function would be called. So we'll go on line 3. And once the value is resolved, it will reach back on line 9 and it will console log the data which is hello world. So here in the output we have hello world. So during the entire execution, we saw that once we encounter a promise which has to be resolved after a certain amount of time, our single thread didn't wait for that particular promise to get complete. It instead went further, executed the entire function, and once the promise was executed, once the promise was resolved, then that particular callback function was executed and we got the console log of the value that was resolved in the promise. So over here we have a callback function which has function resolve and reject. In this case, we have used resolve. The user can also reject a particular promise. So let's say instead of using resolve, we'll be using reject over here in this particular case. So I'll write reject with the message called hello world. This promise is rejected. So in order to handle rejection, we'll put another callback function over here. So I'll put another callback function which will take the rejection message and it will console us with the data which says hello world, the promise is rejected. So we'll do console.log and the data, which is a rejection data which has been received from the promise. So very quickly we'll just run this code again and we'll see how the promise is rejected, and we'll see that this line 11 would be invoked. Let's run this again. We are calling for the promises. This particular function invokes the promise. Then since the promise is asynchronous, we'll be moving on line 14 to execute console.log program complete. Then after a time span of 5000 milliseconds, this promise would be rejected. So we'll wait for 5000 milliseconds. The promise is now rejected, and once it is rejected, we expect it to call line number 11. So debugger didn't stop over here, but we can see the message which says hello world, the promise was rejected. So in case of resolution, you have to invoke the first function that has been attached to .then, and in case of rejection, you have to invoke the second function that has been called with .then functionality. So with this, we can see promises are either resolved with certain value or it can be rejected with certain values. So next what we'll be doing is we'll be attaching multiple callback function with this promises. So let's remove all the debuggers. Let's remove this rejection message. So instead of reject, we'll be using resolve. And then what I can do is I can attach multiple callback function to this particular promise. So over here, I'm attaching another callback function which says output. So I can attach a message as well. Output 2 is equal to the data received from the resolution. And over here on the top, we'll attach output 1 plus the data that we received in the console output, so that we can distinguish between the data which has been received on the first callback function versus the second one. So again, we'll quickly save this and execute this function. We'll see program complete. After 5 seconds, we'll be invoking the callback functions. So first is the output 1 that we get, which is hello world, this promise has been rejected. Then is the output 2, hello world, this promise is rejected. So we can see over here, we are invoking multiple callback function on the resolution of this custom promise. So next, in this particular scenario, rather than attaching the then keyword with all these custom promise, what I'll do is I'll start chaining these callback functions. We'll just clear out the console and let's run it again. So it gives the output program completed, and after 5 seconds, once the promise is resolved, it will first give me output 1, which is hello world. And what we can see over here is that the output 2 is undefined. Although the value has been resolved with hello world, but still we are getting an undefined value over here in the second callback function. So in this case, when we are chaining multiple callback functions together, what happens is the data that has been received from the resolve keyword, it goes to the first callback function. Then inside the first callback function, whatever you return, so let me return a value which is Mayank Gupta from the first callback function. So whatever data you are returning from the first callback function, that will be received by the second callback function as data. So if I rerun this particular program, we'll see in the second callback function, we'll receive Mayank Gupta, data that has been returned from the first callback function. So similarly, I can attach another callback function. I can chain another callback function. I can say .then. I can put this function again. This function will take some data, and let's console.log. We'll just output the data as output 3. So we'll say output 3 and the data that has been received. In this case, the data received is the data which will be forwarded or returned from the second callback function. So we can return some random data. I can say random data. And we'll see this particular message getting console logged in the third callback function. Let's quickly clear up the console and see the output. So here we can see in the third output, we'll receive the data that has been received from the second callback function, which is random data. And this way you can chain multiple functions together inside a promise. So we have seen how to attach multiple callback function to the promise object that we created. And also we saw how to chain multiple callback function with a single promise. Also we saw that the promises are asynchronous and your main thread do not wait for any promise to get resolved. Rather, it go further, execute all the functions. It completes the function execution and get back to the promise once they are resolved in the next clock tick. So that's it on the topic of promises. We'll come back with more topics. If you like the channel, do subscribe and like this video.